The guy never expected that. The hell difficulty he chose before transmigrating wasn't all bad. In fact, past level 60 it would let him leave everyone else far behind because this world has a level cap. Once you hit 60 you can't level up anymore. The only way to get stronger is through gear and skills. But he's the exception thanks to his hell difficulty choice. With no level cap he can keep growing. The only downside is that he needs 100 times more experience than everyone else. So he has to put in way more effort than others. For example, after just 1 year of school, everyone else he carried started from 0 and already caught up to level 60. But he who had been grinding since childhood was still stuck at level 51. But the good news is, everyone else is stuck at their cap, and catching up is just a matter of time. Before he knew it, they had moved up to second year, and 3 transfer students joined the class. Coincidentally, all of them were foreigners. One was a 48-year-old princess from the Elf Kingdom. Another was her 68-year-old bodyguard, because elves live a very long time. The third was the most normal, same age as them at 13, from the Dwarf Kingdom. For these 3 problem children, the homeroom teacher immediately handed them off to the male lead, because his team was the strongest in the class, making them perfect for training newcomers. The male lead didn't refuse, because no matter how many members he had, his experience gain wouldn't change, and he could learn about rare class strengths. Besides the bodyguard who was just a 1-star archer, the other 2 girls had very rare classes. Princess Sophie was a 1-star elf mage. The dwarf Mel was a 3-star magic rocksmith. This was the first time he had seen another 3-star class among students besides his childhood friends, so without hesitation, he took all 3 straight to the dungeon for practical training. By the way, the princess was level 50. Her bodyguard was level 55. Mel was lower at level 30, and maybe because her level was too low, the test showed she was practically useless. She couldn't even damage a C-rank monster. On the other hand, the princess bodyguard, even with just a 1-star class, could one-shot the same monster. When Mel got hurt, the princess healed her immediately. It turns out the elf mage is a class that can both attack and support. Support-wise it's not as good as a priest, but still useful in a pinch, and besides Mel's low level affecting her performance, she also had no golems. If she did, she could even one-shot a ranked dragons. Turns out magic rocksmiths are a class that fights using golems, but the materials needed to craft them are extremely rare and are crucial for fighting the demon lord's army. At her current level she wasn't allowed to bring them out of the dwarf kingdom. At the same time, the male lead learned that the princess transferring to this class was no coincidence, but specifically to meet him, because he is the one foretold by the elf king that an 8-star summoner will appear in the future and rid the world of all darkness. This also cleared up the male lead's earlier confusion. No wonder on his first day, the hero and the principal came to see him personally. They must have known about the prophecy, but all of that was still too far ahead for him. Future problems can wait for the future. As for how strong the princess is in combat, don't let her 1-star fool you. She's actually very powerful, because she has an EX skill. She can take down regular A rank monsters with just 1 spirit summon.